Vlog number 5. Today, yes, Georgia, maybe we, or I, shall I say, welded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of metal together. It's right in front of me. What we had to do was weld 2 pieces together at angles, so you had the piece gap, sorry, shall I say, I think I described it, hang on, I can use something here as a descriptionary thing. So imagine these are 2 pieces of metal, because they're not, they're just, what's the worst that could happen? They're foam, and you don't want to weld these, they'll just melt. So if these were 2 pieces of metal, stick them, hold them together like that, and weld the bit in between. See that there? That's the bit you had to weld. Okay, so once you've done that, you have to weld inside it as well. So that was fun. It took quite a while to try and get everything nice and how I liked it, because settings on the welder need to be fine-tuned. So it took me a while, and I got some nice welds on the outside, but the welds on the inside were just, I think I got one that was acceptable. I've got to be honest, I can't lie. Oh, cake on my leg. Cupcakes. No, muffins. Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, this is what I welded. So these are 6 pieces of plated steel, about 3 or 4 mil thick each. And yeah, there were some welds which are nice, but there were some welds that are terrible. I shall add photos at the end of this video. We couldn't do a huge amount today because they didn't have a lot of material for us to use, but I kind of made the most of it. There was some thinner stuff which we practiced with, which was fun. Lowered the weld settings and that kind of thing. But to be honest with you, not much exciting happened, but I made progress with my speed, and I'm still trying to figure out things, the levels, that kind of thing. The tutor did take a piece, because what you need to do, you have to have 2 pieces of this for the assessment, so just 2 pieces. So but basically this was nicknamed the sausage rack. Put sausages on it, or hot dog rack, whatever you want to call it. And one of the lads who was there, funny chap, got some scrap that he'd been welding, and he made a little hot dog rack, and he actually welded hot dogs for sale on the front of it, which was quite funny and entertaining. And I didn't think of anything like that, but some of the little pieces I made a little smiley face, that kind of thing, which was just messing around really. It's just fun to do, and you kind of like forget that there is like fun to be had with this. And I drew a smiley face, tried to draw a love heart as well, and it was terrible. It looked awful. But yeah, this thing's quite heavy now. But yeah, I need you know, it's enjoyable, but when you're in a situation where you've just got to do what the tutor suggests you need to do, you get into a point where your brain's gone, oh no, what else do I do? Do I carry on just peeing about with the pieces that I've welded? you know, because I can't just, it feels like I need to make more progress, or go a bit quicker. But you can't go a bit quicker. You need to just go with the flow of what's being told to you. We did have a problem. I forget what it's called, but there's a machine which cuts the metal, and it wasn't working today. And for some unknown reason, a water pipe above it was leaking. So the whole thing was covered up in a tarpaulin, and all you could hear was drip, 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 which was quite annoying. But no, I was at the other end of the room, and they turned on the extraction systems and everything, so you don't breathe in all the fumes from doing the welding. Well, you breathe in a little bit, isn't, you know, it's not a problem. But no, there's some welds here which I'm really pleased with. Yeah, it's just getting the speed right, getting the power right, getting the wire feed correct. And we've got new gas regulators as well on the wall. So you turn on the butterfly on the main pipe, then you turn on the regulator pipe tap, and then you've got a third item, which is you turn this little tiny dial, and when you pull the trigger on the welder, a little ball pops up with the gas, and it has to go up a certain height. So he told us what we need to do, and because I've been taking pictures last week of the settings, it was a piece of cake to do this, and then to do the thinner metal, because we'd actually did a bit of thinner metal with the like bit in the middle like that, and all he had was 2mm thick. So it's like, I can do with that, I can work with that quite happily. So I turned the settings down, and what I did is I had a piece, a flap, say if the bench was there and this was the piece on top of the bench, have it over the edge, so when you weld that, it doesn't weld it to the bench, because a young lad who was there did weld it to the bench, and the tutor spent about half an hour with a hammer and chisel trying to hammer it off and release it. If it was me, I would have just grabbed an angle grinder, gone, you know, and a flap disc, you know, might have made a little bit more of a mess, but it was gone. But yeah, a few people weren't there. A few people were there who hadn't had the previous, you know, welding, so he was catching up, you know. But I've also seen there's a chap who, I think I mentioned it last week, can get me a welding mask for like £25. Looks really cool actually, and it's got all the adjustment settings and everything, unlike mine. So the one I've got will be going in the bin because it's useless. So I can plaster the new one with stickers. Yay! So yeah, next week I think we are going to be doing the T-pieces, thicker metal this time. But welding the thinner stuff, this young lad said to me, because he was curious, because like, oh, how do you normally weld your 1mm thick steel? So I'm welding on a car, I don't have a bench. There was nothing behind it, you know. It's like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Because yeah, sometimes you need a bench, sometimes you don't, you know. If I'm fabricating something, I'm just going to be shaping it mostly. Unless, obviously, like the chassis pieces I made for TC, those will need welding together at some point and then transfer into the car. I may do it on a bench, I may not. I may put bits into the car and then weld it together at that point. Talking of the car, I've been getting some advice, and to go back to, you know, working at the back of the car and unpick things. So yeah, right, I'm gonna have to go because my cat is calling and she's not very well. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.